It's about the spirit that is before I enter the earth in my mother's womb. There was certain karmas and things that we have to finish. I feel we have to finish in another life or another time. And so that's what I think that I'm doing. This piece is entitled America the Beautiful. And it's just like a little light humor because it's everything except beautiful. It starts with this pedestal. The pedestal is red, white, and blue. And the red spots represents blood that has been spilled on the land of America in order so that we can become free. This here is Monticello. It's a beautiful building, but there's an awful lot of suffering from me and my people all the way back. This side tells the story of America in the early days. Our form of currency was land, cotton, and corn. This side shows the back side of the big White House is always black slave people, black people homes. The sun was like a ball of flame on the back of the people who tilled the land and picked cotton. And this was like the man that picked the cotton up and take it to this gin to be fit. He became the free bird. He ran off and left. He became the free bird, which was the hummingbird that was going to unite the earth, that would set his people free. And this is the bomb that he was going to ignite that would bring justification back to the suffering of the people. This piece was done in 1969, and this was during the time of the riots in Harlem. And I was living in the village at that time, and I didn't know anything about no riots in Harlem until this friend of mine told me about this tree that, he told me, he said, hey man, you ought to go uptown, they got a tree up there that they're saving for you. And I want you to go up there and see and get it and bring it back to your studio. And lo and behold, when I went up there, it was during the riots of the Rockefeller, the state office building. Nelson Rockefeller was taking the land on 125th Street and Lenox, and he was taking the land to turn it into a state office building. And when I got there, there was Black Panthers, people all around. There was police and armed gears, and there was the lot being cleared for the state office building. And inside this barbed wire fence were these people saying, we shall overcome, we'll take over. They won't take this, we will keep this. Black power, Ungawa, power to the people. Black people first. And I say, whoa! All I could see was these people fighting for a cause that's going to help change the world and going to help make things better for black people. And I say, oh, I could do something here. So I brought my tools up and I sat out there and I started sculpting. And all of a sudden I saw this piece and the thumb began to stand out and the hand began to stand out. And all I could do was take my hand and do that, and I would chop, and I would come in and go back, chop, cut, and this is my hand. But after the 60s came down and the 70s came, I had a new vision, and I decided to turn it all over to God. And I decided there's nothing I could do greater than showing the wonders of the Almighty. And this was one of my first pieces that became where I decided, where I looked and saw into, like, we are all one in His mercy, with His blessing. So I entitled this piece, One, O-N-E. You're born, you live, you die. One side is male, the other side is female. This side is the female side, the other side is male. We have the yin and the yang, the male and the female, all is one. They came from one and they will return back as one. And so we go back to the beginning of time, the bare necessity of life. We all have to have, we need food and shelter, and that's what we have. And then we go back to the ancestors. I'm no longer wanting to fight for the sake of fighting for black and white. I do think that we have the right to have our own here in America. We can't ask people to do for us. We have to do for ourselves. And we need our museums as much as our artists. We must begin to show our children what we are about. It's like they need representation of themselves that show that they're worth something. That, oh, of course, we were once all ex-slaves, but that is no longer the case. We are all Americans, and we come from all over the earth to make this country what it is. And I want to live in peace. I leave it to the Father.